Yeah, obviously it's a hurt locker room right now. A lot of frustration. We've had some real battles with Kansas in our 5 years here. We've been involved in some of these one-possession games. Tonight's a little different to me because I think a lot of it was self-inflicted. No disrespect to Kansas, but they step up there and they make 95% of their free throws. We got guys that make 60, so that's really frustrating. Win as a team, lose a team. A lot of learning lessons here in our first Big 12 game in mid-December, so certainly a lot to build from, but not going to sugarcoat this. Extremely disappointed. I thought we had chances to win the game tonight, and we didn't.
All right, let's start off with Joe Yeager. You there, Joe?
Yeah, Coach, could you just describe your play design on your last possession, offensive possession?
Well, I'm not going to draw the play up for you, Joe, if that's what you're asking, but, we got a couple finishers on this team. It's early. We haven't been in a one-possession game yet, so I thought T.J. Shannon and Mac McClung were our two most aggressive offensive players tonight. Neither one of them were playing a great percentage game. So we're going to take what the defense gives us. We're going to also factor in who's guarding who. So the play was set up for T.J. Shannon to get to his left hand and for Mac McClung to be open so either guy would have a chance to finish the game. I'd have to watch the film, but it wasn't set up for T.J. to drive right and shoot a jump shot. I can tell you that.
Good, Don Williams.
Chris, the play that they scored the game-winning basket on looked like a pretty clever play design to get them open right there underneath. How did that kind of unfold from your standpoint?
From where I was sitting, Don, I'd have to watch the film to be 100% accurate. But I think what happens with Kansas, there's a lot of screening going on underneath the basket, and you got to switch that stuff. You use the word clever. Some people use the word tricky. You've got to find a way to switch under and force people to pop out and hit jump shots to beat you, not layups. So, again, give Kansas a lot of credit. It's what they do. You find people in the media. Here's a little project for you. You can write a book. How many great games Kansas gets in that are 1 and 2 possession games and what their winning percentage is with Bill Self. It's amazing. You got to give them a lot of credit. But tonight is not one of those that we've been in before where we just felt like it came down to the last play. I didn't feel like tonight should have come down to the last play. A lot of this was self-inflicted tonight. We've got veteran players that are zeros across the stat sheet. That's not going to get it done. You got to make free throws in a Big 12 game at home. And in an out-of-bounds play like that at the end that Don's referencing, you've got to figure out a way to make the play where the other team doesn't beat you on a layup. We practice those things. We talk about them, and certainly during the timeout, we were talking about that for the whole time. So give Kansas credit. We just didn't get it done. Didn't coach well enough, didn't play well enough down the stretch.
And Chris, one more thing real quick. The play right before that on the ball that went out of bounds right before the timeout, what was your argument to the referee at that point?
I didn't know if it was getting close to being a shot clock violation. There's certain things that those guys can check at the end of the game. A little bit of an advantage for the team over there because Coach Self had a chance to grab his guys real quick and talk about some things. We didn't. So I was just kind of disappointed in that play. I think the officials could have just calmed that deal down and maybe gone to the monitor. You can check some things late in the game, at least get the three of them together. Again, it's not my job to comment on that. That's three of the best officials in the Big 12, three of the best officials in college basketball, so I trust them, period. But just kind of an awkward play late. They act like they're coming back to the table, then they don't go to the table. So it's just kind of an awkward play.
Let's go to Eric Kelly. Can't hear you, Eric. Eric, we can't hear you, man. All right, we're going to go to – try to turn up your volume a little bit. So, Skyler?
Chris, did you get the timeout as early as you wanted there on that last sequence, or was it a little later than you would have wanted?
No, that was fine. Going to give our players a chance to make plays. Um, so yeah, it was by design. We're going to give them a chance to see if we can't get something great in transition. I didn't like the situation with Kyler over dribbling. Look at the ball slipped out of his hand. So we get the timeout there. We get Mac McClung back in the game. And again, we try to set something up, put the ball in our veteran players' hands, guys that are having the best games. Also the Kansas defenders, there's some things we're trying to get done. We just didn't execute late. Kansas executes on their out-of-bounds play. We don't execute on our sideline out-of-bounds play. Kansas makes free throws. Texas Tech doesn't make free throws. Kansas's best shooter shows up for a game. One of their best shooters, Oche, had a big game, 30. A lot of that's self-inflicted, guys. Those aren't shots coming off of screens. Those aren't three-point shots with a Texas Tech defender hand in the face. A lot of those are miscues.
What do you think? Did they do anything with Mac? I think he was up to 18 or 19 pretty early in the second half. Did they change up anything to try to take him out a little bit?
Yeah, I think they're obviously game planning our best players, changing up defenders, changing up defenses. This was Mac's first Big 12 game. I think I'll let Mac speak for himself tonight, but it was obvious that, Garrett's their best defender on the perimeter. They were switching up who Garrett was on. There's a lot of things going out there in tonight's game. Again, guys, we've been in a lot of these games. Sometimes you just tell your team in the locker room, like, hey, let's put ourselves in a position next game. Great fight tonight. I don't feel that way about tonight's game. I think a lot of it was self-inflicted. Again, nothing disrespectful to Kansas, obviously. But I thought we had chances to win the game tonight, and we didn't win the game.
Eric, you want to try one more time, man? Yeah, we're still quiet, man. So Nathan, let's close it out with Nathan.
Can you talk a little bit about the importance of Mac getting off to a good start in the first half when nobody else was, and then TJ kind of taking that lead in the second half for you?
I don't share your opinion that nobody else was off to a good start. We went head-to-head with the number 5 team in the country for the first 4 minutes of the game, the second 8. I mean, you might be looking at the stat sheet about scoring, but there's a lot going on out there. So I don't think Mac was the only one that was playing well early. One of the objectives when you play a team like Kansas is you got to get off to a good start. That doesn't mean you always got to be up 8 to 10 points, but you got to be in the game. Our game in Lawrence last year was a great example. We get down, I think, 18-2 or something. We claw back in the game and have the ball. Ramsey misses Moretti in the corner to send it to overtime. But the point is you can't dig a huge hole when you play Kansas. So tonight, I thought one of the bright spots in the game was the start that we got off to.
Don, one more question. Don
Chris,
Williams,
can I give you Chris, what did you think of the kind of when you were making the run that PV and Tyreek Smith gave you on the glass?
Yeah, I told the guys during the play, when you play Kansas, it's not going to be all offense, defense, X's and O's. I mean, players have to make plays, and that's what happened. I mean, Micah went and got an offensive rebound and got a putback. Reek, we dominated the glass there for about a 3 to 5 minute segment, and it really got us the lead. That's what Marcus is supposed to be doing when he's in the game. That's what TJ Shannon is supposed to be doing when he's in the game. Our offensive rebounders have to produce. We gave him a lot of chances tonight, right? It wasn't a great shooting night for either team. I think we missed close to 20 shots in the first half. We have to manufacture offense from our offensive rebounding when the shot's not going in. I thought Micah Peavy and Tariq did a great job in the second half, basically just making plays as players. That's what this game's all about. We got to get other guys to make those contributions too. Our offensive rebounding's got to get better.
I mean, just playing without Marcus, we had to hold down McCormick, just because, he's a big body, big presence. So we just did the best we could until Marcus got his breather. And because he was in, I think, foul trouble at the end. So, so we just tried to hold it down for him at the end.
All right, Eric Kelly. Eric Kelly.
Okay, and on that final possession when they were inbounding the ball, what were you guys kind of looking for? Was there anybody in particular you were trying to get a hold of, or was it just trying to keep them out of the paint?
We went over this play multiple times, and we just didn't execute.
Skylar, do you have any questions for Kyler?
Kyler, what'd you think about coming out of the chute in a game like this in Big 12 play? Did you kind of like getting in a high-profile game like this right away?
Yeah, I mean, I'm never shying away from competition because I'm a competitor myself. So if we can get games like this, I mean, early, I mean, I'm fine with it.
What's your takeaway on how you guys kind of played as a whole?
As the percentages you can see, we didn't shoot the ball very well, but we tried to hang our head on the defensive end, and we just came up short at the end.